Let's talk about the news.
Yes.
We got this is a crazy story. From timcast.com. Facebook worked with the FBI to spy on conservatives who questioned the 2020 election. The company has been sending direct messages of its users to the FBI for 19 months.
Whoa.
Oh, that's crazy.
Holy
and of
cow.
course, all of you know, timcast.com is NewsGuard certified. That means this reporting is true and correct. You see, we do not repeatedly publish false content.
Good for us.
We clarify errors. We disclose ownership. So when people ask you, how do you know, the FBI is not spying with Facebook's help. You can be like, NewsGuard certified website said it was true. Here you go. A new report from the New York Post cites sources from within the U.S. Department of Justice who say someone at Facebook has red flagged what are deemed to be subversive private messages over the past 19 months and transmitted them to the domestic terrorism unit at FBI headquarters in D.C. The Post spoke with multiple individuals who did not wish to be identified. Quote, "It was done outside the legal process and without probable cause," an anonymous source said. Facebook provides the FBI with private conversations which are protected by the First Amendment without any subpoena. According to the report, the private messages are then sent to FBI field offices around the country as leads, which has resulted in the targeted Facebook users being investigated, sometimes using covert surveillance techniques.
Whoa.
All of the accounts flagged for domestic terrorism were conservative right-wing individuals. It must be just a mistake, you know. They forgot to go after Antifa.
Yeah, exactly.
A source said they were gun-toting, red-blooded Americans who were angry after the election and shooting off their mouths and talking about staging protests. There was nothing criminal, nothing about violence or massacring or assassinating anyone. As soon as subpoena was requested, within an hour, Facebook sent back gigabytes of data and photos. It was ready to go. They were just waiting for that legal process so they could send it. And I also think, too, they say they do mention, even before that, without any subpoena. So a lot of these were just Facebook being like, here you go, buddy, have fun. One source characterized the operation as a waste of our time. Now, that's amazing. When confronted over the allegations, Facebook first issued a denial. However, an hour later, Erica Sakin, spokesperson at Facebook's parent company, Meta, said the company was working with the FBI to protect people from harm. And there it is. These claims are false because they reflect a misunderstanding on how our systems protect people from harm and how we engage with law enforcement. We carefully scrutinize all government requests, blah, blah, blah. These claims are just wrong. The suggestion we seek out people's private messages for anti-government language or questions about the validity of past elections and then proactively supply those to the FBI is plainly inaccurate, and there is zero evidence to support it. As of September 14th, the FBI would neither confirm nor deny the specific allegation of private messages being shared by Facebook, but said that the agency maintains relationships with social media companies. The FBI also said it maintains an ongoing dialogue with social media platforms to enable a quick exchange of threat information. So Signal, do you guys use Signal? What do you use?
You don't want to tell people what you use, first of all, because there's a lot of different platforms up there. Some of them are even honeypots. I don't think there's anything sacred. There's no privacy online. Whenever you have an iPhone or an Android or you're on Facebook, everything you say is going directly to them and the feds. And I just wanted to comment here. There sure seems to be a lot of connections to intel agencies and Facebook, especially since the beginning of that company. And even yesterday, our guest, Devin Nunes, I asked him, who's more powerful, big tech social media or the intelligence agencies? He said that they're the same thing, and they are.
But the funny thing was that he was like, that's a good question.
Yes,
Like,
and he thought about it,
you know?
and then he talked about something else, and I'm like, wait, hold on. And then I had to ask him again, and he was like, they're the same thing, and they are. They absolutely are.
And I want to make this point, and we talk about this in the conspiracy world, and Tim, you said a funny thing about how I'm kind of like Luke's progeny, and I am, because Luke has been...
Well, that was before the show, so nobody knows the context.
I know, but Luke is, an OG truther, but we'll get into that. But I just want to make this point, too, is we have what is known as declassified information called Operation Mockingbird, and this is in the 70s, and this is when the CIA said that they have representatives in every form of our media, radio, television, movies, and film.
That was the church committee hearings,
yes.
Specifically. Operation Mockingbird was a different operation. Just a heads up. There's like a little misnomer about
okay,
it.
well,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
he's the expert. He's the nerd. I'm Primetime 99. I sit in a locker. But my point being is that we know that they have representatives in all of these platforms. So if you don't think that social media is not infected with representatives from the FBI and CIA, you're dreaming. And that is why TikTok is so dangerous, because TikTok has representatives from the Chinese government, and now they have all of our information of little kids, and Lord knows these kids are very vulnerable on there, so who knows what information they have on them, what pictures. So that all of these social media platforms that we use that are fully addicting are basically all DARPA engineered social media addiction tools to get inside information about ourselves.
Twitter whistleblower recently revealed that there were, I think, foreign spies in Twitter, and that I think what they said was, well, if we've got one, then who cares if there are more? Let's recruit more people.
And wasn't the Saudi government caught spying on activists that were protesting them and getting data and information about that? I have to fact check this story.
Didn't the Saudi prince buy a portion of
Wait,
Exactly.
guys, we cannot talk about Saudi Arabia without mentioning the 19 hijackers that.
I don't want to deviate.
I know, we're
too
not going
far.
to do
Come
that.
on,
No,
come
I'm
on,
just
come on.
kidding because
Too
Luke's
far.
on the show.
Stay
Sorry. No,
focused,
but we love Saudi
We're going to
Arabia.
go off the rails.
Thank you so much, Saudi
No,
Arabia.
we got this monitor.
I like that
to talk
Alex
about.
is here.
Loving it.
We love you, Saudi Arabia.
I can
we
only
would never
imagine
fight a war with you.